Love my little singing bowl. There we go. Amelia, how are you? I hope you've been going well. I've had a couple of days R&R clips. How you going? You've beat him. Can of Coke hasn't jumped on yet. I've had a couple of days. That's exactly right, mate. I've had a couple of days chilling out. I don't think that I'm one of those guys that could do this every single day. I think you need to have little breaks. It's just how I think about it. Get out there, live life. Can't be online all the time. And I like doing it that way. I hope all you guys have been going okay. I hope life's been heading in the direction that you want this week. Things are good. I hope everyone's good. Yes. You guys must spend a bit of time on the tubes, eh? Waiting for me to jump on. No? Really? Oh, I hope that went well. So did they get it all? Did they get it all, mate? Or have they given a good report? That's good, mate. I'm glad to hear that. Any type of surgery is no fun, right? They put you to sleep. Well, I hope they put you to sleep, mate. I wouldn't want them to be cutting you open while you're wide awake. That might be a little bit horrific. I certainly am not the biggest fan of someone saying, we need to cut you open. And we'll do it while you're awake. I've never been much for a dentist than that either myself. They open the mouth and they're like having a rip a tooth out of yourself. That's not fun. I haven't met too many people that enjoy those type of situations. Well, I hope your recovery is good, mate. I hope it goes well. Positive attitude, stick with it all the way through. I'm sure that will definitely help. Hello, everybody. There's a few people that have jumped onto the live. My name is Craig, for those who've not seen me before. And this is my YouTube channel. I call it Craig's World Rocks, basically because... Hey, Bob, how you going, mate? Basically because you should attack life with the most positive attitude. I used to be into, still am, into my music. Love all the heavy metal music from the 90s and all that. So, rock and roll, all that type of stuff. And I'm also into my crystals on the flip side, natural rocks. So Craig's World Rocks kind of sat with me as my little YouTube channel name. But yeah, look, today I had no real thoughts about what I wanted to talk about. Usually for those who haven't not seen me before, I try and talk about how I think that a positive attitude goes a long way to, turning your life into a direction that's better, that what people put out is what comes back. I have a very positive attitude around that understanding. So, everyone looks at life differently. For me, I believe every single person should look at trying to take a little bit more control in their life, right? Melinda, how you going? Welcome to the chat. Let's throw it out there for the guys, even guys that have not listened to me before, but like if you have any topic you want to talk about or that you're curious about, and maybe you want to see what I think about the topic, throw out an idea, and I'll give you my opinion if I can. If I can't, I can't. But, most things I have some type of opinion on. Let's say that. Like some of the friends that I've met over the last few months online here. Craig can talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles. And happy to do it. It's my superpower. I definitely talk about things that I'm interested in much easier than things that I might not be interested in. But life, the universe and everything, and understanding what it's all about from a human perspective, or trying to understand and get a deeper perspective about what it's all about for yourself, or get a better connection with how you look at life is something that I get into. I'm happy to talk about it. Lily, how you going? I hope that everything is going well for you also. Look, I'm going to say what I say a lot of the time to everyone, right? You're all perfect. You're all unique sparks of existence, right? That's how I see people. I have had a haircut, Freddie boy. Yes, cleaned up, you know. Much easier to look after, especially when you get a bit older, you know. Like, just get it short, you know. Job done, move on. Don't want to think about it, right? I did the long hair thing when I was a young guy, mate, and all the heavy metal stuff. So, you know, too much work, mate. Too much work. Yeah, I am from Australia, Lily. Thank you for asking. You've picked up on the accent, obviously. I have lived my whole life in Melbourne, Australia, which is the capital of Victoria. Oh, you're from, well, that's how you can tell, Lily, isn't it? Yeah, I've lived my whole life in Melbourne, and Aussies are the best, right? Hey, we're the best. I think we're just very. If there's something that's bugging an Aussie, we'll tell you. You know, I got no dramas about what. Oh, I care about what people think, but it's not going to change my response. If I need to say something to someone, well, I'm going to tell you, right? Oh, you're in Queensland, so yeah, that's fantastic. Beautiful one day, perfect the next, right? Queensland, you know, the muggy state. Look, we're down in Melbourne. Our summer this year has been from bloody wet to muggy. We're getting no decent summer. We're at the extremes of everything. It's pretty frustrating, to be honest. I like summer like most people, but when you get bloody 40-degree days and then you get 15-degree days and they happen one day apart, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. I know Queensland has a little bit more consistency with being warm all the time up towards the tropics, but you know, you do have a lot more mugginess up there, right? Like the weather's just a bit muggier. That's it, Mark. 4 seasons in one day in Melbourne, mate. I honestly think we're missing the middle good bit stuff. I think we're only getting the extreme crap, as I like to say, you know, the really wet, cold days and the really hot, shocking days. See, there's no good days. There's not much good days in between to actually do anything that you need to do. So, yes, very good. But there you go. Life is what you make it, everyone, right? Life is what you make it. So that's my thought on it. If you want to transform your life for the better, if you want better things to happen in your life, have a good hard look at yourself. You know, decide whether you're being the best version of yourself you can be. I mean, if you're out there saying terrible things or acting negatively to everyone around you, you're probably going to find that a lot of those type of things keep being created in your own world. Because there's a couple of life things that exist for us all. And hey, Alyssa, how you going? Welcome. I hope everything's going well with you. You know, there's a couple of things in life that people need to understand. I mean, what we put out there to the world is what comes back to us. Everything that happens around us is a reflection of what's going on inside us. If what's happening around you is all pretty good and positive, then you're probably feeling pretty good and positive within yourself. So it's a good thing to understand and come to that belief or understanding for yourself, because it actually allows you to take some control. You can get some conscious control of what's going on. And when you realize that and start to believe that, then of course you're going to try and be more positive, because your actions create everything that happens in your life. So, you know, it becomes a conscious effort to, you know, be as positive and uplifting as you can be for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're doing it for yourself. In my opinion, you know, everyone creates their own reality. I mean, that's how I look at life. What you put out is what comes back. And that's my proven point to myself. Obviously, with everything I talk about, one of the things I say to everyone is always take the things that you like, chuck out the things that you don't like with when you listen to anyone talking about anything, because no one has all the answers for all of us. I think we're all on unique individual pathways in life. We're all trying to achieve our own goals and have our own experiences and try and make life as fun and positive as we can for ourselves. And if that's not working out for us, well, we need to assess how we're acting, right? Because if you're being held back, or if you've had something you haven't been able to, hey, Monty Moonbeam, how you going? Thank you, Mark. Absolutely. Watch it. It's all about analysing ourselves. I mean, that's how I look at life. It's not about looking for the answers outside ourselves or going to some place and saying, oh, this group will have the answers for me. I mean, yes, you are listening to Craig have a chat about life, but I think that our lives are our responsibility. I mean, we came into this world by ourselves. Guess what? We're all going to leave by ourselves. So who's the most important person in your life? It's you. I think that we're all part of the same thing. So we're all humans. We're all the same family, right? We're all doing the same thing. We're living an existence. We're living a life. So treat each other with the greatest care and love and support that you can for the people around you, because they're all experiencing the same thing that you are. They're experiencing life. And I think that if we've all chosen to come and live a life, oh, thank you, my friend. But yeah, not a pastor. I'm just a passionate dude that actually wants to pass on a few things that I've picked up through my journey in life. And if that helps a few people help themselves, awesome. I feel like exactly, Mark, we all bleed the same colour, mate. And if you're a person that has any type of ill feeling towards any person out there, it's about having a good look at yourself, right? The world's not going to change if we keep blaming other people for insignificant crap. The world will change when each person takes ownership of their own world. The one thing that's most important that I think that all people can do, that you can all do for yourself, is say, I'm going to be the best version of myself for me. I'm going to do things in my life that come from the heart, that are genuine. I want to be my authentic self. I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to be someone that I'm not. I don't want to, what have we got there? It's true. It's true. I mean, 100%. Gee, I have trouble saying it. Money Moonbeam. But that's what it is, Alyssa. It's simple. The philosophy of life isn't supposed to be, I don't think, it's not supposed to be heavily confusing. And I listen to a lot of different people talk about a lot of different things, and I think sometimes it's just going to go straight over all of our heads. I mean, you've got to be honest with yourself. There's no one else you need to be honest to. If you're being honest with yourself that you're doing the best you can, well done, okay? Life is tough, right? Life is tough, right? Every single one of us, I'm sure that everyone that's here having a listen and getting involved in the chats, and I love it. I love you guys, connecting with, wanting to answer more questions for yourselves about things. Every one of us has been through crap, right? Every one of us. And I embrace that. I go, that stuff I've been through has made me into the individual that I am today, right? So that's how I accept that the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things that I've experienced, and I've done the best I could at the time with what I knew, have rounded me to who I am now. So I don't accept that who I am now is the be all and end all. I'm just saying this is who I am right now. This is what I believe. I'm now, a passion of mine and something that's come from me is I'm expressing that to all you guys. Whoever wants to listen, I don't care if there's one person on there having a chat with me or if there's 500, it doesn't matter to me. If someone's interested in hearing someone like me talk about how they see life and that it is a personal thing. Life is personal, right? Life is personal. It's your life. Should we not all be taking it as seriously as we can? I think it's time that more of us do. Like, stop looking to blame other people for things that are going wrong or what other people have done, right? the only person that you need to look at and be happy with and be content with is you. If you're feeling really good about you, when you look in that mirror and you're doing your hair, you're brushing your teeth, when you look in that mirror and you can honestly say, I'm doing everything I can, I'm being the best version of myself I can be, then that's it. Well done. You don't have to achieve any particular level of success or whatever, joy or fun. Life is the journey, right? It's the experience. And we all love different things. We're all passionate about different things. Remind yourself of what you're into and get into those things. Get into the things that make you feel really good. If you're doing that, then you're going to get the most out of this life you can do, right? And I suppose for me, doing this is helping others maybe remind themselves or help you to look at yourself and go, am I doing the things that I really want to be doing? Or am I just existing? And look, the beautiful thing about life, and this is again from myself, you can believe or not believe it, but we live forever. This lifetime is one lifetime of many. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think, we go from experience to experience, that's lifetime to lifetime, and we experience ourselves from different lives, right? We learn a lot about ourselves from a different perspective. Now, for me, I know that there's more to it. There's more than the physical body, right? I've experienced a few things. I appreciate you, Alyssa. No problem at all. Anytime, I'm happy to help. I mean, with whatever I can suggest or give ideas on, happy to help, right? It all starts with ourselves, though. For everyone that's here and having a listen, it starts with, if you want to change your life for the better, it starts with you, right? The day that we start to take ownership of what's going on is the day we can truly change it, right? If we keep blaming something else for where we are, guess what? We're stuck in that spot. And then it's like the same things keep happening all the time, and you get caught on that hamster wheel of life or that low vibrational attitudes or things going on where, it always happens to me. It always happens to me. Because if you are going through and not accepting it, say something that seems negative that it happened to you, if you don't accept that, then your subconscious keeps seeing you go through it, and it keeps recreating more situations that are at that level of vibration, right? Your subconscious doesn't choose to create a positive thing or choose to create a negative thing or a neutral thing. Your subconscious copies what you do. And the three things that I always talk about are your thoughts. Your subconscious knows what you're thinking consciously. Your words, your subconscious can hear you talking and how you act and what you say to people, and your actions, what you actually do in your life. What is your subconscious seeing you trying to be? Because all it wants to do is get those three things and create more of them for you, because it automatically will do it. We don't have to actually sit there and go, I want to manifest something. It's not how it works. The manifesting of your life is automatic. We change every split second, minuscule of a second, all the time. We are constantly changing. So many people in life go, I hate change, I don't want to change. But that's a belief that we kind of want to chuck away. We want to understand that we are beings of change. Change is beautiful, because what does change do? It allows you to transition from this level of experience to this, to this, to this, and you can evolve. You can move to a better place. Yes, you can move to a worse place as well, but understand that change does exist. You can empower yourself by understanding that, yeah? Embrace the change. I mean, how do I know we change constantly? Are we not all, our body's not deteriorating every millisecond of every day we're getting older? It's an analogy I use all the time, but it does help us to understand that we are living in a world of change. This reality that we create changes constantly, right? So that's a great thing to know, right? Because then you can go, okay, it changes constantly. So I would like to be living more joy. I would like to do something that I want to do that's much more exciting. So, okay, you can change to that. As long as you accept where you are today, know who you are fully, and then say, okay, and I would like to create a new me that's here, right? So we basically need to know if you want to go somewhere else, you have to know where you are. If you want to travel to another place, right? Let's say you want to travel. I'll use that analogy. So you're here at one suburb and you want to travel an hour away to another suburb. You have to know where you are, and then you have to map the direction to go to get to the new place you want to get to, right? It's the same with manifesting your reality, right? You have to accept where you are. You have to accept yourself, warts and all. You have to say, yep, I've got good things, bad things, blah, blah, blah. I accept myself. I am who I am. I love myself unconditionally, bang, but this is who I am, right? And then you want to imagine or see, okay, I'd like to be this type of me. I'd like to be this type of version, whatever it might be. And then you need to, when you see who you want to be and where you're from, that's when you start getting the thoughts about, what do I have to do to become that particular individual? And that's when your subconscious or your conscious mind will start to get ideas about things that you can start to do. I believe if you start to act in a certain way towards, almost fake it till you make it, right? But you act in a way that is towards where you want to be. So when I talk about following your passion, if you're not doing things that you really enjoy, if you start to do a little bit of those passionate things that you feel really good about, and your vibration goes up, even if you do it 1 hour a week and it's a hobby, or you add it in, or you do it for volunteering in a particular area and it just makes you feel really good about yourself, you're sending the message again to the subconscious mind. You're showing it, I want more of this. And then you might find that opportunities start to be created in that particular area, okay? I know it sounds different and that to some people, how you go about it, but that's basically the crux of it, right? It's knowing where you are, it's knowing where you want to get to, and then, well, how do I join that together, right? What do I have to do? How do I have to act? Like, someone wants to be more abundant, they should be more giving. Why would Craig say that? Because everything that happens around yourself is a reflection of who you are. So if you want to be more, if you want more given to you, more abundance given to you, shouldn't you then give more to the reflections around you? Shouldn't you be more giving? Now, I'm not saying you might not have a lot of money, but it might be giving abundance through actions, right? There isn't one way to create abundance. It's not just money. Abundance is energy. Abundance is, love. Abundance is all these things, right? So if you are sending a message that I am much more giving to people around me, then you are saying to your subconscious, I want to give more to myself because I feel more self-love, self-worth, self-esteem. That's your actions will send that message, i.e. your subconscious will manifest more abundance in your world. Doesn't that sound pretty easy? It's not. It is, but it's not, right? The only reason I say it's not is because we have other beliefs that block that thought process, right? So everyone has lots of negative beliefs around abundance, right? About deservability, about, your self-worth. Only criminals get to have lots of money. There's all these silly beliefs that people have been programmed with as they've gone through their life, We need to clear those. If you're putting out, I would like to be more abundant, and you're acting that way by being more giving in all the ways that you can, if you have a negative, because that's a higher vibration to be doing things in a more higher vibrational level of giving, if you start to do that and a thought comes up that's negative around abundance, that's a negative belief that you've been holding on to. When something comes into your world, in your conscious mind, and you see it, that's when you get the choice of, I'll let that go now. I accept that I've had that inside me for a while. I'll accept it, I'll let it go. But I want to allow much more love, much more joy, much more, wealth, abundance into my life. So I want to be able to accept that. I want to believe that I deserve more. All right. Analyzing yourself is what automatically happens when you start to lift your own vibration. See, because when we're all dealing in the muck and not feeling good about ourselves, we attract other people that don't feel good about themselves. And so they reflect that, yeah, life's pretty shit. And everyone bounces that back and forth off each other. And once again, you get caught on that wheel of we're all creating it, so it must just be bad. I'm saying to you, you can all step off the wheel. You can all pay attention to what you're doing and change it at any point in time. But once you start to say, I'm going to try what Craig's saying, I'm going to be more positive. I'm going to create more abundance. I'm going to be more giving. Once you start acting more positively, don't be surprised when negative beliefs pop into your conscious mind. Don't be surprised if things come up that aren't that positive, even though you're acting positive, because I just want to explain something else to everyone, right? So when you have a negative belief, right, something that's not positive, that you just don't like yourself in some way, it's a belief that is down low, right? It's a lower vibration because it's not about feeling good about yourself. It's about you're no good, you're a terrible person, and you've bottled that away. Now, how do I know that's going to come back up to give you a chance? How do I know how that happens? Well, with vibrations, similar vibrations attract. Like attracts like. It's a universal law. It doesn't change. You have a conscious mind that can choose the level of vibration you want to work on. But most of us get caught in the hamster wheel in this planet, in this reality, and we keep creating the same stuff at the same level. But once you decide, no, I want to do things that are much more enjoyable for me. I want to change my life. Your vibration will lift. When you start doing things that you really enjoy, your vibration has no choice. It will lift because you're like, wow, this is awesome. I love doing this, right? Even if it's for that going away on the weekend and you do something that's a passion that you haven't done for months and months, and all of a sudden you're experiencing something that just brings you heaps of joy personally. Your vibration is lifted. That's the joy aspect that lifts your vibration. When your vibration goes up, because you only attract other high vibrations when your vibration's high, where does the low vibration of blockage go? It doesn't have any choice but to come out and show itself. Because the higher vibration that you've lifted your whole being to has brought the blockages to the surface, okay? Now, those negative beliefs, you get a choice whether you want to let them go and deal with them because you acknowledge that I don't want to think like that anymore, or you can go, no, I can't face that, and it just be re-blocked down inside yourself, right? You don't automatically deal with everything at one time, but remember, you're in charge of how you go through and improve and clear yourself. If it's something that's happened when you were younger, usually when you're younger, you don't know how to deal with a negative situation, right? Or someone's dumped something, some shame on you or whatever it might be, right? You don't really have to analyze it to work it out. But as an adult as an older, let's say an older person that can make the decision in their life to look at something and see it from a different perspective, when you're an adult, you see the things that happen to you when you're a child from a very different perspective. And if you're looking to clear these things and say, okay, it wasn't a great situation at the time, but I now know that I wouldn't be where I am if I hadn't gone through that. So the situation, I can accept that it happened. And I can now let it go, let it be. Because that's when you free that energy up. You've let it go, and then the cycle of energy can be free for the newer high vibrational stuff to come into your life. Because you haven't got as much blockage there anymore, right? The blocks are very important individually to clear for us to move in a growth pattern, right? To actually allow more positive stuff to come into our lives. Again, I'm going to drop back though and say, But you know, if you want to go through your life and not actually deal with anything, you can. You can go through your life and go, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just living at this level and that's it. And if someone actually chose that, that's okay. Maybe they want to go through the whole life feeling that way. Maybe there's some other aspect to why they want to have that experience. And who has a right to tell someone how they live or how they don't live? I don't think anyone has the right to tell anyone how they're going to live, right? You can live your life any way you like, right? You live forever. You are immortal, right? You are individual, perfect sparks of existence. We are part of the all that is. We are part of the all that is because we are here in this world, in this universe, and we are a part of it. We are conscious thinking beings. Our conscious thoughts, they never disappear. You always exist. You don't need to do anything to achieve the golden ticket of existence. I can tell you right now, from Craig's perspective, I believe that 100%, and I'm not alone in that space. We already have achieved that. We've always been that, right? We can be any, don't mind that, that's the dog barking. We can be anyone you want to be. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Gab, where are you hailing from, my friend? Let us know. Post that if you like, where you're hanging out at. But yeah, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. Every single person has the right to go through, cool, mate. Every single person has the right to live the life the way they want to live it. And I'm big on treat people the way you want to be treated, because I think we're all family, right? If you're wondering how can that be possible, we all have come into this world as a human being, as a baby, and we'll all leave as, you know, after living our existence, and we'll leave the same way. We're all from the same place, wherever that might be, right? Suburbs, my friend, suburbs. I'm in Melbourne. I'm in the Melbourne suburbs. That's as much as I give everyone about where I am, Gab. But no dramas, mate. All good. So yeah, it's up to you how far you want to go with understanding yourself and understanding how much you want to take ownership of your reality, right? It's not for one person. No person should try and control, all good, Gab. No person should try and control another person, right? That's off the table. As far as I'm concerned, if someone tries to control you in any way, shape or form through comments that make you feel afraid, to make you do what they want, red flag on the field, get as far away from those type of people as you possibly can. Because no one has the right to control any other being. You all only have the right to take ownership of your own lives. Live your lives in the way that you want to live them, right? Be the best version of yourself you can be, right? That is it. The message is that. If you get that and you're doing the best you can, I applaud you. I applaud every single one of you, right? There's a lot of people out there that are just very disconnected with life, very angry about, they don't understand why things are like they are. They've been told things that really make no sense. And, you know, we've got terrorists on one hand, we've got wars on the other, we've got, you know, political parties trying to dictate how we all live. I mean, we all need to go back to the drawing board and say the only person that each person should be in charge of is themselves. And if you're listening to your own heart, if you're listening to what do I want from life, it's going to be good. If you get thoughts in your head about bad thoughts or negative thoughts, it's your ego mind sending that to your conscious mind, not from your heart. Your heart only wants love and self-worth and self-esteem and joy and passion and it just living life to the fullest, right? Learn all the things you want to learn, experience all the things you want to learn. But the true you wants to love life. And you do get the best feeling when you are doing something that you really enjoy. Look, there are people out there that that get into the drugs and they get a high, and they take the drug and they get a high. But that's a short-term high. When you're, yeah, exactly. When you're living your passions, when you're doing something that means everything in here, like I was meant to be this type of person and I'm doing it. You're on a high 24/7, right? You don't need no drugs. You're on the drug of life, the high vibrational vibration that everyone aspires. I think that's the thing that when someone says, I feel really connected with life, their joy level is very high, right? Their joy level is high. You want to be connected with life. You want to feel the best you can about life. Do things that bring you excitement and joy. Genuine stuff. I'm not saying something for the fun of it. I'm genuinely saying it. If you guys want to actually take things to another level, have a good look at who you are. Decide or ask yourself, what is it that I really love? What's in my soul? Who am I? What's my special power, right? One of my superpowers is my ability to talk about lots of different things that I'm passionate about. But my expression, I love being open and being able to do this. I know that for a lot of people, it's not easy to do. You know, this is all just knowledge that comes from me. I don't need to read a script. I've spent, 36 years meeting so many different people as an adult and just having experiences with lots of different ways of looking at life. And it's been exciting to this point, right? Life is not 1, 2, 3 things. There's infinite things that you can dive down, so many rabbit holes and experience so many ways to look at things. But you just want to make sure that you're experiencing life for you firstly. If you want to be an example for friends and family around you, and you want to, kind of help them to help themselves, living your best life and doing the things that you love shows them that they should be also doing that, right? You're being the ultimate example. Your vibration lifts, they see that you're doing it, then they do their stuff and they lift, right? That's it. There you go, Gab. Absolutely. And pat yourself on the back as regularly as you can, right? Appreciate yourself. Life's not easy. I'll say it again to everyone. Life is not easy. It's a journey. It can be exciting. It has its ups and downs. We ride the waves of emotion with everything that's going on. We try and help others, but I think the ultimate way to help anyone is to help yourself first. It's not a selfish comment that I'm saying that from. That's not coming from a selfish place. It's coming from a self-worth, self-love place. You really have to be honest with yourself, and it's very hard for a lot of people to do that. But the one person in life that you can't lie to is you, right? Right, Gabs? Can't lie to yourself when you tell a lie. Everyone else mightn't know it, but you know it. And the only person that's ever going to judge how you've lived your life is yourself. That's no drama, because you've chosen to come here, right? You've chosen to come here to experience this life through the eyes of myself, Craig. I'm living this life as Craig, and I'm got to get the reflection for me. I'm seeing all these things from my perspective, and Gab, you're seeing it from your perspective for you, and that's unique through this lifetime. You want to get the most reflection and experience for life for yourself in this life, then embrace it fully. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Do the things that make you feel the best you feel. That's the secret to life. And when you're doing things that make you feel that good, hey, your vibration lifts, you feel connected. One of my other passions, and it's just an understanding, it's not that I'm out there doing anything about this particularly, but I hear about a lot of people, and it's a lot to do with why I started this YouTube channel. It's one of the reasons, I think. But a lot of people pull out of life and commit suicide because they lose their connection, right? They haven't found an answer. They haven't found the way they should be looking at life, right? They get that lost that they go, there's no point being here, and they leave. For me, that's very sad, because everyone should have the opportunity to understand how to find connection, right? It is not about out there. It is about in here. That's it. Now, for those that are listening at the moment, one important thing, if you don't do this, one important thing you can learn to do is meditate. Now, I know meditation can seem boring to some or confusing to others, but I'm not talking about doing 2 hours of Om, right? I'm talking about find 5 minutes a day. If you can sit on your bed, close your eyes, turn out the lights so it's just dark, and breathe in your nose, down into your diaphragm, into your stomach, and then exhale out the mouth, and just do this repeatedly for about 5 minutes, you will let go of all the stress from the day. And at that point where you're feeling most relaxed, ask yourself a few home truths. Just, am I doing okay? Did I act good today? Was there anything that I acted badly? You know, something that I want to look at. See, I like to think about the day that I've had and analyze how I've gone. Was there a situation where I could have handled myself better? Was there a situation where I did really well and I want to thank myself for that? See, it's not about waiting for someone else to say, well done. You can look in the mirror and say, good job today. Really good, right? But genuinely. And that sounds weird, right? It sounds weird, but you are the center of your world. You have to praise yourself. You have to feel good about yourself, and you have to find genuine self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, genuine. At first, you might say, oh, look, I am doing the best I can. That's a good place that I like people to start when they first start doing what we know as mirror work, right? Where you're talking to yourself a bit. Because at first you might feel a bit weird when you're talking to yourself in the bathroom. But, you know, when you say, I've done the best I can. Like, I haven't known anything else to this point. I've got here and I'm happy with who I am. And, you know, I'm not perfect, but hey, I'm happy with how I've gone. You're being honest. You're being honest. You're not saying something that's rubbish. You're being genuine and honest to yourself. Your subconscious sees that. It starts to create more situations where you can be even more honest, where more honest truths will be created for you, right? The more clear and positive and loving and centered you are, the more your reality transforms for that. Your reality is a reflection of what's going on inside yourself. You are the ultimate creator of this world, for in your world, right? And we all create our own personal worlds within this whole realm of existence. Crazy, right? But it actually works. And then you get and if we all lift our vibrations, Nudge and Bobo, how are you going? I probably said that totally wrong, but good evening to you, sir. When we all lift our vibrations individually, the world's vibration lifts. Now, we're a part of the all that is. We're a part of existence. So everyone talks about how there's always bad things going on. You can't change what other people are doing. The only thing you can change is you. So be the best version of yourself you can be. That is my advice for every single person out there. And please pass that on to friends and family. Don't worry about all the terrible things. Don't get caught up in media pumping the only negative thing that's happening in your backyard, but they put it on 15 times on the TV, so you go, my God, everything's so bad, isn't it? There's always bad things happening. But they just focus on the negative. How many good things are in your neighborhood? How many? No one talks about the good things. Everyone always remembers the one thing you do wrong, right? You do 99 things right. No one talks about that. That's a problem with ourselves, with the way we've been programmed by society. That's a real negative control aspect that goes on through the media, right? They like to report all the bad stuff, right? We all see it. When you are constantly watching negative situations, what is your subconscious doing? And I've said it before, it's creating what it sees, what it hears, how you act. Now, when you're watching something that's very negative, you're saying to your subconscious, oh yeah, I'm into it, I'm watching it. It's a dangerous game to play. The powers that be that actually put all the negative on the TV, they basically, hang on a second. Do Australians really find smiles in the toilet? No, mate, that's just a very old song. Red back on the toilet seat. That's that's a very old song. We have nice plumbing inside our homes with no spiders. Yes, much more modern these days. That would have been out in the outhouse back in the 1800s, early 1900s maybe, where they all had toilets outside in little tin sheds, and spiders lived in there, but not really anymore. So yeah, it's really, we really need to be aware of what we're programming ourselves with, right? Yeah, very modern, very modern. Thank you, Gab. Nice smooth seats now, so you can sit on there and check out your Instagram page or your YouTube channel. We really need to pay attention about what we're programming ourselves with. If something's showing you a lot of negative, I would advise you not to be watching a lot of that. Remember, you create your own reality. It's amazing how, and if we were all sitting in a room together, everyone would agree. You do 99 things right, one thing you do wrong, everyone bloody never forgets it. But what about the 99 things you did right? Why are we not talking about how fantastic that is? The only person that you want to be judging you and does judge you is yourself. And if you've done 99 things out of 100 fantastically well, you're awesome. And you are awesome. All of you. All of you are just doing the best you can. Be happy with you. And this is another reason. This is the reason I do these talks. I want whoever wants to listen to get the reflection from me. Be happy with you. Right? I will always be a glass half full guy. I will always do that because I know that I create my own reality. Why would I want to be glass half empty when what I'm doing is creating my own reality? I want more of the things that I want for myself, not less. I want more happiness, more joy. I want the vibration of the planet to go to a level where we get to experience things that we don't get to experience now because of all the negativity going on in the world and all the closed off, way that we live. We need to feel free and safe and high and positive as a whole world so we can get out there and start existing at a much, much more exciting level. That's the whole world perspective. From the individual perspective, you can find your passions again. If you're not doing them, you can remind yourself of what makes you feel the best you've ever felt in your life and start looking at how I can add that back in to my life. I know that most of us are out there working and trying to make money to pay the bills and all that, but there's downtime where you choose what you could be doing. And if you can start to do some of those things that are really exciting to you, then your subconscious will see that and you'll start to create more opportunities in that space, giving you more opportunities to be excited about life, right? It's okay to be excited about life. There are many different realities happening all at the same time here with individuals. Some people are battling with life really, really bad, and some people are living a great life. How can that all be in the same world? Well, it's how it is. And it's all on yourself to transform what you do, how you act. Get your vibration up there, attract other people at the high vibration. Opportunities will be created in that space of vibration, which is much more amazing than what any of you can imagine. And if you need to do that, Gabs, that's fine. Go back to the basics of who you are, though, for me. Try to go back to that basics. Try to find more of a connection with, I create my own reality. So if I create my own reality, will bad things happen to me? No, I don't want to create bad things for myself. Once you clear those beliefs that say, hey, if I don't do this, bad things can happen. You need to be thinking as glass half full as possible. You need to be acting in a very positive way. I don't believe that's delusional. I think it's when you understand, my friend, that what you put out is what comes back, and that's an understanding with people that create their own reality, then you can empower yourself with taking more control of that and putting out much more positive all the time with your thoughts, with your words, with your actions. They're the three things that each person, if they want to understand that they truly how they act and what they do creates what happens to themselves, they're the three things that you need to get consciously connected with, that you can consciously control about you. The only person in this world that you can control and create things for is you, right? So if you're thinking negatively, if you're thinking hate, anger, I hate that person, you are telling yourself that you hate yourself. And so what do you think your subconscious will create? Other situations that reflect you hating yourself. I don't think you want to create that. So thoughts are very powerful. Your words are very powerful. When situations happen, it is how you act in the situation with your words. You can have two people being really bad and doing something terrible. You could, and a lot of the time people get involved in their peer pressure and they start acting the same way because they think that's how those people will accept me better because I'm like them. But you're lowering yourself down through your words, and then you're going to create more of that crap for yourself as well because your subconscious hears you saying that. And then the actions of what you're acting out in your life. If you're doing things that you hate to do because you think you have to, then you'll keep creating things that you hate to do. So trust me when I say this, guys, and this is something I just truly believe hand on heart, you all can change your life whenever you choose. Analyze who you are. Think about what you do. Think about how you think. Think about how you act in your words, and think about how you act, right? Analyze yourself. Get the reflection about who you are and decide whether you like who you are. If you're doing the best you can in those three areas and you feel that there's no room for improvement, well done. You're doing a great job. See, it's not my choice to say to all of you that you have to live a certain way. No, you can live however you want to live. You are part of the all that is. You are part of God, Goddess, all that is. You are part of the almighty existence, which we are part of, right? We are seeds of pure individual sparks of light and love. We can choose to exist, and we've chosen to come here as a human, exist in this life. You can act and do whatever you want. It won't make any difference. The only thing that it does is maybe you'll get a little bit out of the life, or you'll get a lot out of it, because it's all about getting as much out of it as you can for yourself and seeing yourself from all these different reflections so that we can grow as beings, so we can expand on who we are, understand ourselves better. We exist forever. I would reckon we'd get bored. So we want to keep creating different lifetimes and experiences to see ourselves from different reflections and add excitement in. Why do you think we come into this world and we block our memories about who we are? Because when you awaken to who you are, it's very exciting. It's like when you first experience something for the first time. Even though I know you've lived infinite lifetimes, when you come into this world, when your mind is closed and you don't know, suddenly you're having your first kiss, being in the first relationship, and the vibrations you get from that are unbelievable. Hey, Ryan, how you going, mate? Of course I remember you. Good to see you, my friend. So you're experiencing these things for the first time in this life because you've set it up that way, right? Because it's exciting, right? When you have those first experiences, exciting. There's more to us than meets the eye. I believe it. I have not got there yet, right? I have not achieved where I want to get to, I don't think, with awakening who we are as humans, right? I hear comments all the time online and different people talk about it. we're more than what we realise. We have more abilities than what we realise. You know, clairvoyance and psychics and that, we all have that ability. But most of us don't actually try and work on that, right? The meaning of life mean to me. Good question, Ryan. Look, okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to answer Ryan's question because, you know, the meaning for life is about us, I think, understanding ourselves more and more and more. We exist. We're beings of love and light. I believe that. But we want to understand ourselves from many different aspects. We want to know ourselves as much as we can. There's no limit to how many different ways we can look at ourselves through being different, having different lifetimes and different experiences. And I think life is joy and love and learning and experience. You know, I've heard about back when you go back home, they say that there are realms and that you can access. And there's a place called the Akashic Records. Some of you may have heard of that term. And I've always imagined the Akashic Records like this ultimate library that you can just access your existence or anyone's existence there. There's the information of the universe there at your fingertips. It just sounds exciting to me, right? I think about, for those who have seen Harry Potter, when they go into the wand store and then, you know, he comes along and he's like, oh, I was wondering when you were going to agree. And he's up there with all the books and wands and all that stuff. It's like we create these places that are just unbelievable, right? Life's exciting from where we are now, but I think as we awaken and we all learn more as we go along and you get into what you want to get into, that's the biggest thing for me right now with life is just wanting to know as much about myself and what I'm about as I can while I'm here as Craig in this life. Then I believe fully that there's so much more once we cross over that we'll reconnect with. I think life is not something to be worried or fearful of. I think that a lot of people have programmed society with those fears. I don't even think we should call death. I think we should call it, you know, the next transition of life, because we don't die, we just transition, right? So there's so many things that, yeah. But I don't know if that really clarifies it for you, Ryan. There's not really one answer, mate. I mean, you know, if you've ever watched the movie or the series Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the meaning of life is 42. And no worries, mate. No, that's it. I mean, enjoy every moment to the fullest that you can, mate, because you don't know when. I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It makes me laugh my head off. Love that whole story. If you haven't seen the movie or watched those episodes, check it out, everyone. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Ryan's watched it. I have. It's very funny. But it's interesting to me because it's the most important question in life, right? Like, some people never even think about it from the way I look at that, right? But there's other people that I think are like us that want to actually talk about this stuff. We want to actually dive in and go, okay, let's have a think about it all. Like, where'd we come from? Where are we going? And that's why I've wanted to start doing this, to find people that are like-minded, find people that are interested in talking about this. And, you know, who knows, down the track I might try and do some podcasting type stuff, but I really have no idea what I'm doing in all that space. So, you know, where I can interact and talk with other people face to face or do Zooms and things like that. But at the moment, I'm just chatting away to myself and all you guys, and you throw comments up, and I appreciate the question, Ryan. Appreciate it. I laugh because of my own insecurities, I suppose, at times when people say nice things, you know, like, and I really do appreciate it, heartfelt appreciate it, because we're not perfect, right? We've all got our own issues and our own things that we're not confident about. You know, it's It's not like you have people in your life always complimenting you on stuff, and it's a strange thing sometimes when people do, right? But I continue to grow and put myself out there and speak my truth, and I'll do that for as long as I'm feeling the passion. And I can tell you now that this is something that I'm passionate about. So if you guys like it, keep hanging out, keep jumping on when I jump on and when I can chat, and yeah, it's a good thing to do, I think. So I will keep doing it. And if you do, and I'll say it to you guys, if you do have people in your life that you think are a bit disconnected, right? They're a bit lost. You can tell them to jump on and have a listen. I'm cool with that. I want to help people that are interested in finding something that maybe they haven't heard before. So, for me, that's what happened with me, right? Like, I was struggling when I was younger to find any real meaning to life, and the church stuff and that didn't do it for me. I felt like they were much more trying to manipulate people than actually work from the heart, especially with the going to the fiery hell thing. If you don't do it, we say you're going to go to hell, or you don't do this. It didn't sit with me. So that was my intuition speaking to me. That was my higher self, I think, talking to me, saying something's not right here. And it wasn't until I met my first clairvoyant and she told me how she saw life, that what we put out is what comes back. And I suddenly felt like I'd found someone from my family, someone that understood or looked at life in the way that I'd been waiting to discover. And I think a lot of people out there are like that. There's a lot of people that are waiting to find someone that actually looks at life in a way that makes sense. So, but that's it. So anyone that that wants to jump on, absolutely, invite them along. I'm keen just to keep growing the channel, keep helping as many as I can, and at the same time, obviously helping myself, because what you put out is a reflection of you and where you're at. So I can hear myself talking this way and empowering my own higher self and my own subconscious to create more of the things I say. So this is a very powerful forum for me to create more of the things I want for myself, because I'm projecting and I'm saying all the positive stuff to all you guys, but I'm also saying it to myself because I'm looking at myself in the camera. I find that pretty cool. So it's helping both sides of the coin, right? So anyone that likes how I talk, right, please remember, don't forget to subscribe, hit your notifications. I do not go on every day. I've got a family, 2 grown boys and a missus, and we're working and doing all the things that we do. So, I can't always jump on every day. I'm trying to get on probably 3 to 4 times a week. But obviously other things on, like we all do stuff. Appreciate you, Ryan. Jump on anytime, my friend. You are always welcome here. And I hope the next day or so and the next weeks and the next things happening for you are awesome, mate. I'm sure they will be. You got a really good attitude. You keep it up, mate. You keep being the best version of yourself you can be. And to everybody else that is on the chat still, I appreciate all of you. You are all perfect as you are. You do not have to worry about life. You do not have to feel like fearful or worried about what's going to happen, what's going to happen, how's life going to turn out. Do I go on after my body dies? Yes, you do. You live forever. And I want to finish on that note today. You all already have the ticket to existence. So if you're a person or a being that is going to live on, why you shouldn't be worried about your life. You should be living it to the fullest, doing the things that you love to do. Enjoy your life to the fullest. Be the greatest example to the people around you that you care about. That's life, right? And I appreciate everyone for hopping on and listening. We've had a good chat tonight. I know it's been about an hour or so for me, so I'm going to call it tonight. But I'll be on again very soon. If you obviously like how Craig chats, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit your notifications so you know when I jump on. And if you ever have questions and things that you want to throw out, things that have happened in your life, and you want to have Craig's perspective on it, jump on, ask me. I appreciated Ryan's question tonight, and I'm open to people asking genuine questions, obviously. And I'm sure most of us that are here are going to be, listening and trying to solve things that are going on in their own lives. But, life's good, everyone. Be glass half full. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Remember this. Craig's World rocks. So does yours. Be good to everyone out there. Be good to yourself. And I'll talk again very soon with you all. Good night, everyone. Or good day, whatever time it is.